guys, welcome back to my channel Foreign Adventure, where I share how it's like to be a foreigner here in America. I share with you some lessons and tips that I've learned along my journey here, and if you're somebody deciding whether they want to come here to United States or not, hopefully this will be helpful to you. And if you're somebody who's already here, I hope that you can relate to some of my stories and some of the things that I'm going through, because it's always easier knowing that there's somebody else out there who kind of feels the same way as you do. So hopefully I'm able to do one of those two things. I'm really enjoying making these videos, and I definitely plan on continuing to do so, and I hope that I can at least help one person out there who maybe they feel alone, maybe they're scared of making that decision of moving here, and they just need a little bit of reassurance that everything will be fine to just make that step. So hopefully one video out there someday will help somebody, and then all of this will achieve its purpose. So today what I want to talk about is certain things that you can do before coming here to America that will help you prepare for the experience you're about to go through and the culture shock that you're about to encounter. But if you do these certain things that I will talk about in this video, it will definitely help you feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more prepared, and you will just be eager to come here and experience everything, knowing that you did certain things beforehand to prepare yourself for everything that's about to happen. The first thing I would advise you to do is definitely make sure you bring all relevant, important documents with you when you come here to United States or any other country, honestly, not just America, because immigration process is a very involved process. You want to make sure you have all the documentation that you might need at any point, and if there's even a document that you're like, oh, I'm never gonna need this, bring it, because rest assured there will be a situation where you will need that document. I had that happen to me multiple times. As somebody who has switched so many visas from J1 to F1 to now H1B through my employer, trust me, there's a lot of processes, a lot of forms to fill out. They will ask you all sorts of questions, and the best you can do is be prepared, have everything you possibly can with you. And I would also advise having a separate folder where you keep all your legal documents, and you always carry that with you. Another very important thing when it comes to documents: don't throw anything away. As somebody who has done this before, it will make your life miserable. You will scramble to try to find a replacement, to try to find if somebody else has a copy of those documents. So just don't throw anything away, especially your old passports if you have a certain visa in it. For example, I had my J1 visa in my old Bosnian passport, which expired, and once I went to renew my passport, I think they either kept my old passport or I threw it away or whatever. And now 7 years later, when I was applying for my work visa, I actually needed a copy of that old visa in my passport from 7 years ago. Luckily, in my case, I had a copy. I had a PDF of all the pages in my passport. So that's another good tip. If you're not sure whether you want to bring something with you or not, make copies, maybe take it to a local notary to have it notarized, and bring that with you and just have it here just in case. The next thing I would say, it's not that fun or whatever or exciting, but is definitely have an emergency fund of a certain amount of cash or on a credit card or whatever, preferably cash, that you can just stash away and kind of forget about that you have that money. When you're coming to a foreign country, there's certain things that will happen that you're not prepared for, that you don't know that's how things work, or there might be a legal process that you have to go through, the cost, or maybe there's, God forbid, a medical emergency that you had to go through and you need to pay, you don't have insurance yet, things get costly here. So just have a little cash set aside that you don't spend on anything, that you can just kind of set and forget about it. That will of course depend on your financial situation, but if you do have a couple of months before you actually come here, I do suggest starting to save up as much as you can. Hopefully you will never need to use that emergency cash, and then you can actually use it on something fun like a little trip or a new bag or a shopping trip or whatever. But it's better to be prepared when it comes to things like that when you're going overseas. I got this new lipstick and I've never had such a dark color on before, and I'm kind of worried that it'll just go everywhere. The next step I have, which is a little bit more interesting than documents and stashing away emergency cash, it's try to meet some of the local people in the city that you're going to. This will definitely help you a lot in your process as you're adjusting to the new culture, trying to get settled in. Now this will depend whether your first time coming here is for like a job or if you're coming here for college. If you're coming here for college, it's even easier for you because there are certain universities will even have their own applications that you can download on your phone, and you can meet people that belong to your generations. They're taking up the same major. They will even give you an option to kind of connect with people and choose your future roommate. It's always better to meet somebody before you go to that place, because you'll just feel a little bit more safe and secure knowing that there's going to be at least one familiar face for you before you get to this whole new culture. And another good thing about knowing somebody who's local, especially if they're American and if you're moving to college or whatever, then most likely they or their parents will have a car. They will know how things work. They will know where certain things are. So it will be easier for you to kind of tag along with somebody than you trying to figure out everything on your own like in a couple of days while you're under this huge culture shock. So maybe just try to meet a couple of people. And today with the internet, honestly, it's so easy. Just go on Facebook, go on Instagram, search your university name or search your city. I don't know, if you even have Tinder and you want to set up a couple of dates before you come to the city, you can do that as well. No judgment there. So really utilize the power of internet when it comes to that, so you're not feeling so alone, so lost when you come to the new environment. My tip number, I think it's 4, but never mind. My next tip is definitely figure out how you're gonna come from point A to point B, assuming that point B is your final destination, whether that be your dorm room at your university, or whether that be a new apartment, or an employer that you have to go meet somewhere or whatever. I would always fly into JFK in New York City because that's just very close to Pittsburgh. I can hop on a bus here or take a connecting flight and I'm here. But if it's your first time here, you definitely want to figure out, okay, if I'm gonna land at JFK and my final destination is, let's say, Pittsburgh or any other city, how am I gonna get to that destination? Am I gonna get a connecting flight? If there are no flights, is there a bus? Is there a bus schedule online that I can look up? You'll feel much less stressful when you're carrying the luggage with you and the suitcase and your laptop and everything. It'll be much easier knowing what your next step is, you know where to go, you know what to do. You won't feel as lost. So you definitely want to do as much preparation beforehand as you can. Another thing I would do if I was you is I would download like Uber or Lyft on my phone and kind of get myself familiarized with those apps. See, it's when you're a foreigner, there are certain words that you can't say, like familiarize yourself, but you know what I mean. For example, just landed at an airport and you know that like your university is 20-30 minutes away, then it makes sense to just take an Uber, pay a little bit more, like I don't know, $20-30, and arrive at your final destination. They'll drop you off right in front of your doors. But if you're, for example, like me and you land at JFK, sometimes I would take a bus to Pittsburgh. There's so many websites out there on Google, like forums, people explaining how you can take a subway or a little airport shuttle from actually JFK into downtown New York City to Port Authority to take the Greyhound bus and then come all the way here to Pittsburgh. The first time I was doing that, it seemed a little bit complicated. I was scared. I didn't know if I was gonna come out at the wrong exit, if I was gonna get lost while I was carrying my big suitcase and everything. Again, I was all alone. I didn't know anybody there, but once you do it once, honestly, it becomes so much easier, and then you'll be somebody who is a pro and they're actually looking at the cheapest alternative, not the fastest, the easiest one or whatever. The first time will be scary, but after that you honestly won't be even thinking twice about it. But as I said, again, definitely figure out where your final destination is and how you're gonna get there. Lastly, I want to finish this video in a fashion that I've finished all of my previous videos so far, and it's an overarching tip, and that's to just relax, to get excited for everything that's awaiting for you here. There are only so many things that you can do beforehand to prepare yourself for this experience, but don't overthink it. Don't try to have everything 100% ready and in place, because that's just impossible. You're gonna come across certain things, or you're gonna embarrass yourself. You're gonna realize you forgot something. You're gonna realize you didn't bring a very important thing with you. You're gonna realize that you actually forgot that one document that you now need for this legal process. Things like that will happen. It's a normal part of this experience of being a foreigner. It's what makes this whole thing exciting. It's what makes you learn new things and become more confident in yourself. So just get excited for what's about to happen to you, this change that you're about to go through, and all these new things that you're going to experience, people you're going to meet, because that's the most important part. All these little tips are there to kind of make this transition a little bit easier for you, but once you come here, you'll know what to do, you'll know what's the next step to take, you're just going to be able to figure it out on the fly, and as the time goes by, you'll be able to figure out it more faster and faster than you did at the beginning. So just relax, come here and enjoy this experience of being a foreigner wherever you're going. Thank you so much for watching this video. I had so much fun sharing these little tips of what you can do to best prepare yourself before coming to America. My next video, I think I'm gonna take you out with me, either shopping or just walking around Pittsburgh, to actually show you America and the life here, instead of me just sitting on the couch and kind of talking about it. I think it will be helpful to some people, and it will be interesting for me to actually take my camera and go out there and film it. So I'm really looking forward to that. But I hope you see and learn something new that you didn't know about America before, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye guys! My plant kind of looks sad. What was I saying? Familiarized. Familiarized. I think that's how you say it. I'm gonna YouTube this after.